guys. Okay, so I haven't made a video in a long time, and I don't really know why. I haven't been that busy. No excuses. But what I did want to do today is try out something a little different, considering the fact that the blog that Lauren and Laura and I work on together is books, movies, television, games. You know, it's media binging. I'm going to try media blogging. So I'm basically just going to run through really fast the books I've read the last week, the books I'm reading now, the books I intend to read, as well as any television, movie, game situation I've gotten involved in the past week. And there's actually been a lot. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm just going to jump right into it, and we'll see what's up. Okay, so first I have a stack of books that I've read the last week right here. There's one missing, but I'll talk about why in a minute. I read Shadowhunters and Downworlders, a Mortal Instruments reader, edited by Cassandra. Clare. I'm making a face already. I'm very expressive. I'm sorry. I love the Mortal Instruments. I've read all 5 books so far. I can't wait for the 6th. I've just started the Infernal Devices. I love that even more. But guys, can we all agree that it's not that scholarly? Like, let's just be honest. It's not scholarly enough to warrant a whole book of essays written about the topic. And that's what this is. It's a book of essays kind of dealing with some of the supposed themes and topics that Claire brings up in the series. And I do agree. She does do a great job of incorporating, you know, different marginalized, at least in, you know, society as a whole, groups. And really, like, you know, there is some symbolism with, you know, Simon being Jewish and being turned into a vampire, as well as, you know, the gay relationships in the story as well. But it's not enough to, like, write this whole book. I didn't like it very much. I thought it was a waste of my time. I also read the book Gorgeous by Paul Rudnick, and I read it primarily because I saw in Entertainment Weekly a really good review of the book, and the first 100 pages or so were awesome. I was cracking up. I started prematurely recommending this book to people, saying, oh, it's so funny, it's so funny. I didn't like the way it ended. I thought it became way too farcical and a little weird. I mean, the whole premise is pretty strange, but it just got to, it's basically like a modern day fairy tale, and there's some things about fairy tales that just don't translate well to the modern day. Like, that's just all there is to it. That's why fairy tales are, you know, not necessarily, I can't think of the word I want to use. But anyways, I think I give this 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I would pick it up if you want to laugh. Paul is freaking hilarious. He's really funny. He does a really good job of writing super snarky lines. So if you're okay with some really weird stuff happening, pick this up. If you're not, ignore it. Don't read it. Also, these are 2 books I was really looking forward to that both were released on the same day. I chose to read Dead Ever After first by Charlaine Harris. 10-second review. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. And for all of you people who are saying, it's just a book, it's just a book, OMG, like, people who are upset that people are upset about the way the series ended, I have to say to you, who are you, and why are you claiming to be a part of the Sookie fandom? Go away. Because if you love Sookie, then you don't love this book, and that's all I have to say. I'm glad, like, if Charlaine Harris is happy with it, awesome, lady. I'm so glad that you concluded this series the way you've always dreamt, but you severely pissed me off, and I wish, I don't know what I wish. I wish I would have stopped at book 8, honestly, but I've read all 13 now, and I don't know if I'll read her little epilogue book or not, probably, because, I don't want to spoil anything, but, and the plot wasn't even that good, so to me it wasn't even like, oh, she didn't end up with the person I wanted her to end up with. No, I was mad because the plot, like, didn't make much sense. She, like, you know, goes back on some of the own rules she's created in her, like, little world, her little bon ton Sookieverse. Like, things change that, you know what I mean? I was complaining to my husband, and he was like, oh, she's the author. You know, she can totally change that if she wants to. No, you can't. Like, if you set up something in book 8, and that's the way it is, and you say a rule, like, all fae have purple hair, not true, but if you say, like, all fae have purple hair, And then in book 13, there's a fae with blue hair. What the H? You can't do that. In my mind, like, you just don't do that. You don't do that. Okay. Finally, I read The Fifth Wave. I don't have enough amazing adjectives to describe this book. You can go read my review on mediabinging.com where I try to articulate myself a little bit. But God, this book is just an adrenaline rush. Like, I look at this book and holding it, like, is bringing back the memories of me reading it. And I was, like, hyperventilating. And Randy and I, my husband, we were at a coffee shop reading books together. And he was getting embarrassed because I'd be reading, and I go, oh my God! You know, I would slam the book shut, and people were staring, but I couldn't help it because there's some moments where you're just scared to, like, turn the page and see what's happening, and there's so many twists and turns, and it's so good, and Rick Yancey's such a good author, and just read this book. You're not going to regret it. Go buy it. Buy Rick Yancey's book. Support him. Support his Monstermologist series as well. The Final Descent is coming out in November, where there were supposed to be 6 books to that series, but then they cut it down to 4 because not enough people were buying his books. So I am panicking that enough people won't buy The Fifth Wave, and what if we only get 2 instead of 3? You know, we really need to support our authors and buy books when we can, and that's what I did for Rick because I love him and I love his writing. So those are the books I've read this week. I am currently reading, I'll just show you really fast, The Time Machine by H.G. Wells is super tiny. And this book called Dreams and Shadows by C. Robert Cargill. And I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's all I'll say. I'll do a review on it later. But it's pretty fantastical. I wouldn't say it's high fantasy. I still don't understand the distinctions between types of fantasy. I just say it sometimes, and I don't know what it means. But, yeah, I was going to read you the inside, but I decided not to. It's going to take too much time. It's interesting. It's just coexistence of, like, genies and some different, like, hobgoblins and stuff that you don't normally see. Like, you see a lot of vampires and fairies and werewolves. I don't think there are any vampires in here or anything like that. I haven't seen any yet. But there's a genie, and that's pretty cool. I haven't seen genies yet in, you know, this kind of fantasy. So I like it. Ish. Okay, what I want to read this week beyond that is Clockwork Prince. I read Clockwork Angel, and I devoured it. I loved it. I got really sunburnt because I was reading it by the pool, and I refused to leave the pool until I finished the book. I can't wait to read this one. God, I see why people have such a hard time choosing between Will and Jim, and I'm sure it's only going to get harder because I love them both. Tessa is greater than Clare in my mind. I hope I don't make too many people mad by saying that. I just think Tessa is a more relatable character. I think she's super cool. I think all the supporting characters are super cool. I just like this a lot more than the Mortal Instruments. I think that Cassandra Clare really grew as an author when she wrote this series. So definitely pick it up, but I do recommend reading it after the Mortal Instruments. I mean, that's just my preference. That's the way I've done it so far. So I read all 5 Mortal Instruments books, and then I started this series. I mean, that's the way I'm doing it. I know Cassandra Clare herself has addressed that and said, it doesn't matter, you can read them however you want, but I just think it's cool. Also, I ordered Icons by Margaret Stoll, and it came, and I got it. I was going to go to her tour. She was doing a signing, like, 15 miles from my house, but I was tired and I didn't feel very well, so I didn't go. But the only reason I really bought the book, I wasn't actually that interested in it. I bought it for the signing specifically. I ordered it on Amazon, like pre-ordered. I'm kind of regretting it. I hope it's good. If anyone's read it, leave me a comment and tell me if I should keep it or if I should donate it. I mean, it's not that long. The words, I always check, like, you know, margin-wise and, like, print size. It's not going to be a long read, but to me, it kind of sounds like the poor man's thing. Poor man's thing. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see. I'm not going to make any judgments. I just did. No more judgments. No more judging. As far as TV, I've watched all of Arrested Development. All of it. Seasons 1 through 3. I'm obsessed. I love Lucille Bluth. I want to be Lucille Bluth, minus the alcoholism. Plus a little vodka, though. Oh, my screen just went to black. That was weird. Yeah, I love it. I cannot wait for May 26th. I watched the trailer last night. I'm very excited. I subscribed to Entertainment Weekly, and I couldn't read the article until I finished the whole season because I didn't want any spoilers. And oh my god, I'm just very excited. I do have to say I was not the biggest fan of season 3. I felt like seasons 1 and 2 were much better. Season 3 with the Wee Brit and stuff and Charlize Theron, like her character Rita, I felt like I just didn't like it as much as some of the previous episodes I've watched. But love Arrested Development. I'm starting this week Falling Skies. I have season 1 on DVD here by Steven Spielberg. I think it's on TNT. Yeah, TNT. And I'm really excited. It sounds a little fifth wavy, and now I'm like obsessed with aliens. I never liked alien stories before, and now I'm like looking for it. So we'll see if it's any good, I'll tell you. I'm playing 2 video games right now. I'm trying to play more Wii. I don't know why. That's like, everybody's goal should be to play less video games and do less internet. And I'm like, I want to do more. So I don't know. I'm playing, is this still recording even? Oh my god, I'm such a dork. Yeah, it's still recording. Wreck-It Ralph and Mario Party 9. I found out I could check out games for free at my library for 3 weeks at a time. You can renew them twice. Nobody checks out the video games at my library. So you can check them out for like 9 weeks at a time. And then if you really like it that much, return it and then check it out again. And just, I mean, being a video game hog, I guess. But if someone really wants it, they can request it. And then you can't hog it anymore. But yeah, Mario Party 9. I love Mario Party. Wreck-It Ralph. This is not as good. I don't know if I like this game or not. I'll tell you later. Finally, I've been playing with my Wreck This Journal a lot. I have all 3. What are the other ones called? Mess and like This Is Not a Test or something. I don't know. Have I done any good pages? I did my circle page. I thought that one was pretty fun. Some of them I'm just saving because they look like they're going to be really fun. But this is a super good like time killer, or if you just feel like doing something. I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I've done exciting in here. Not really. Some people do this and it's so artistic and I'm so jealous of them because I'm not artistic. Ugh. No, there's nothing good. If I do anything else good, I'll put it up. But yeah, I had to decorate the cover. That was one of the things. Finally, I saw Iron Man 3. I'll bring up my little Iron Man. It was so good. I love Pepper Potts. I want to be her. And I saw The Great Gatsby, and I'm going to go see it one more time because I'm not sure how I feel about it. I love The Great Gatsby. I love the book. I'm the only person who likes the Robert Redford, Mia Farrow, like, super dramatic version. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I do know that I love the soundtrack. It's so good. I listen to it all the time. And I think this video is 15 minutes long. I'm going to go. But yeah, let me know if Icons is any good, and I'm going to try to make more videos, and Iron Man says bye, and we'll talk to you later, and you can see Audrey right there. Iron Man's pointing to her.